Yo, what's up? Oh, today I'm so excited to bring you this topic, and it's the dark truth about sugar babies. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and hit the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, the dark truth about sugar babies. If you haven't heard of this term sugar baby, basically you're paying a woman in whatever shape or form to go out with you, have sex with you, whatever. Or in today's terminology, it's called an arrangement. That arrangement can span across a lot of different spectrums, right? To these women just want to have somebody to help them out every month, to pay for their nails, their hair, and their pedicure, manicure, and their lashes, as an example. It's like as basic as that. Or, hey, I just want a guy to, help me with a bill here and there. Or to the full on, I want something each time we meet, or I want a certain amount per month as an allowance. At the end of the day, it's a financial arrangement where you're helping them in some way. Some people might say, just call a spade a spade. Some people might say, well, it's a form of prostitution, it's escorts. Maybe, maybe not. So, the dark truth about sugar babies. But first, before I talk about the cons of having a sugar baby, or if you're thinking of that, let me talk about the pros first, okay? So, sugar babies in general have their place. If you're looking to go out on some quick dates, you need some validation, you've just broken up, you've just separated from your wife, you've had this long-term relationship, you haven't been to the gym in a long time, you don't feel very confident in yourself, and you're basically looking for some quick validation, some companionship. You don't want to waste your damn time with dating apps, right? Sugar babies are a much faster, easier way to go out with a beautiful woman. You're going to pay for it though, right? And again, how you pay for it, it just depends. Each woman is a little different on what she's looking for. Seriously, some women have gone on these sugar daddy sites, sugar baby sites, and they're like, you know what? I'm tired of meeting low quality men. I want to meet a higher quality man that actually has a job, doesn't live with his mother, earns a decent income. And I just want to go out to some nice restaurants and do some cute things together and not have to pay for his fucking shit. So there's that as well, right? So I'm not just categorizing sugar babies as escorts or they're just for sex. There's a wide spectrum. And I know a thing or two about this because even to this day, sometimes I'll look at one of these sites and I'm like, you know what? I'd like some companionship this weekend. And I don't want to waste my time. So here's the thing, man. And I'll get into this. I'll get more into this topic. I'll cover everything that I plan to cover. Just going off on a little bit. Um, I meet women organically all the time. If I'm on dating apps are pretty much a waste of time. But the sad truth is that I go to parties, I network, I go to mixers, I DJ at events and things like that, and I meet women all the time. But bloody hell, these women, man, dude, they're so flaky. It drives me crazy. I'm like, they've clearly shown me intent. They're interested. I go to plan a date, and more times than not, it just goes kind of sideways. And I still can't put a finger on why they are so flaky when they meet a genuine guy out in public. I've even picked up women at the grocery store. We exchange Instagram, same thing. They get all flaky. The only thing I can conclude is because I haven't formed a connection with them yet. They want some time to get to know me, see me again, something like that. That's the only thing I can conclude. Let me know in the comments, like if you guys experience the same thing. You meet somebody organically and you're like, hey, what's up? And you connect, you exchange Instagrams or phone numbers, and then they get all flaky on you. So let me know in the comments why you think they are flaky with organic meats. Because the reality is, just quick, also side note, women are overwhelmed on dating apps. It's not, an average looking woman will join a dating app. She will get 50 to 100 messages per day when she joins that app. It's freaking crazy. That's why dating apps are basically a waste of time. However, when she's out doing her regular activity, she's walking down the street, she's at a grocery store, she's waiting for the bus, whatever, she's at the park, only and this was on Fresh and Fit's podcast. Okay, Fresh and Fit is a podcast, dating advice podcast. He brings women on his panel, from OnlyFans models to Instagram models. He's interviewed over 16,000 women, and many times he's asked these women, so when guys approach you, how often do you get approached by a guy organically, like when you're just out doing regular things? These women are like, not all the time, but let's say a lot of times they're like eights and nines on his podcast. And they say they only get approached maybe between 1 and 4 times per week. That's it. There's no competition, dude. No competition with cold approach and approaching a woman when she's just out. So build up your confidence, do that more. I encourage you. But here's the thing. I do it. And these women are so fucking flaky. It drives me crazy. So sometimes, yes, I'll go on a sugar daddy site. No, we agree. You know what? This is the arrangement. I'm going to pay for your Uber, and I'm going to give you $100 or $200, depending on what we're doing and how long and all that stuff. And we're going to have a good evening together. No sex. And sometimes I do that. So these are some of the pros of having a sugar baby. The other pro is just, no particular order, is, some of these men are looking to have an affair. I don't agree with that. I was married for 20 years. I was faithful the whole time. It was mostly a sexless marriage. So that's my position on it. But there's a lot of men that are just looking to hire a sugar baby, have a sugar baby for an affair, or just for sex in the escort kind of situation. So the pros, what are the pros of having a sugar baby? And then I'll go into the dark truth, really, what's concerning. Okay? So the pros. Most importantly, all sugar babies, all of them are into older guys. And that's pretty sweet, right? As an older guy, it's important that you're not wasting your time with somebody who's just not into you because of your age. They're all into older guys. So that's good. Most of these sugar babies are under 30 years old. That's pretty good too. They're hot, they're young. Also, I would say most are 7s to 9s. That's pretty fantastic. Also, I mentioned they're reliable because they know they're making money from meeting you. So they're reliable. That's fantastic. Also, they on these apps or websites, they will actually message you back, or they'll message you first. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't happen on dating apps. Like, it just doesn't, especially from 7s and 9s. So the other thing is, last in terms of a pro, is if they're into you, you're gonna have sex a lot faster than in typical situations, because they're like, you know what, I'm into him. There's a financial benefit. Why? Let's not waste time. So those are all advantages or pros. Excuse me. I was sick last week, so you have to excuse my cough. All right, the cons. All right, so here's where the dark truth comes in. Obviously, you have to pay for it in some way, shape, or form. That arrangement is different depending on the person and all that stuff, but paying to meet somebody and to go out with somebody, have sex with somebody, is not great at all. So that's a negative. Two, sadly, that most of them are actually escorts. And at the end of the day, they want to make as much money as possible. And the only way for them to make as much money possible is to actually have a sexual arrangement. So next, and this is probably the darkest part, is they are mostly emotionally broken. They've had a lot of trauma in their life. They have daddy issues, and that's unfortunate. And they bring that. You have to peel off the layers of the onion to discover that, but mostly that's truth. Okay. Next is, again, this is in most cases, they are ruthless. Ruthless. They don't mess around. They're like, hey, this is the arrangement, and if that arrangement changes too much in the terms, they're gone. Like, you mean nothing to them. Okay. So the other thing is, a lot of them are not making any money in their job. Like, really, they're pretty much all broke. So in a way, it's kind of a desperate situation for them, and that's why they're entertaining being a sugar baby. And that's not a good dynamic in terms of meeting somebody. And again, it depends on what you're looking for, right? I have over time realized, wait, I'm not going to have a relationship with this person. I'm pretty much not. But if I want some quick companionship, I want to go out with somebody, enjoy some dates, or I just want to have sex, you can pay for it. And again, that how much you pay kind of depends. And so I mentioned a couple numbers before. So it could be if it's a platonic meet where there's no sex. It could be where you're like, hey, I'll give you $100 or towards your gas, or I'll give you $200. 200 is the maximum I would ever do for a platonic meet. Okay. But also look at me, right? I am decent looking. I'm in good shape. I don't need to be on the site. Don't have a wife, don't have kids. I bring a lot of value to a situation. So I'm not paying any more than $100 to $200 for a platonic meet, if at all. Some of them are just like, you know what? Just pay for my Uber. Throw me some bucks towards my gas, and let's just have a good evening. Because the reality is, if you go out for dinner and you go out for drinks, that's like a $200-300 right there, right? So I don't do this type of thing that often, but sometimes I've just had enough with the flaky behavior, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to have an arrangement. Typically, also, some of these women will say, you know what? For the first meet, let's just see if we vibe. Let's see if we get along. I don't need anything. Just get my Uber, cover the drinks and food. We'll see how if we like each other, and then we can talk about the specifics of the arrangement details if we want to keep seeing each other. Okay. So that's on the low end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is more for guys in a more desperate situation, more discreet. They want to keep this thing from their wife. They basically are looking for an affair. And in that situation, these women can charge or asking for like upwards of like 500 per meet. If it's sex specifically, depends on the woman. It could be anywhere from 350 to $1,000 per meet to have sex. Now it's an escort, right? There's also some women that will say, I want a monthly allowance. That monthly allowance, which would include 1 or 2 dates a week, right? So 1 or 2 dates a week, and you're having sex. The range is typically anywhere from 1,500 a month on the low end to 5,000 a month, right? 5,000 a month. I've heard that number from some. I'm like, bloody hell. No, I'm like, even if I was rich, I wouldn't pay that shit. But I mean, again, man, it looks like I'm saying, I'm just sharing all this with you because I don't know what your situation is and what you're looking for. And I'm just kind of giving you some perspectives and some things that I've tried, and they have their place. So just keeping on the negatives. You know, most of them are broke, daddy issues. This is one, I'm just looking at my notes. Man, this is a big thing. Once a woman gets into that world of sugar baby, lying becomes something that they just don't even, it's like not even, it doesn't even register on them that like lying is not okay. But most of them lie, okay? The other thing is, they don't give a shit about you. You're an ATM machine at the end of the day because you're meeting a need that they have, and that's money. If they are attracted to you and they like you, it's a bonus. But at the end of the day, they don't give a shit about you. You mean nothing to them. It's just you're there to serve a purpose, and that is to help pay the bills. So you need to remember that. Like, as beautiful as they are, and as nice as they might seem, and you're cuddling and she's affectionate with you, just keep that in the back of your mind. She doesn't give a shit about you, because if you say I can't pay you this month, do you think she's going to stick around? No. So it's also transactional. There's, it's very, very, very difficult to escape that. Like, I don't know about you guys, drop a comment, but like anytime I've given a woman cash, because I can't get apps here, anytime I've given a woman cash, it's never felt good in my stomach. And I feel like, bloody hell, why am I doing this? You know, it'd be one thing if it's once in a while and you're like, hey, look, I want to help you out. Here's something. I hope you could use this for something good on your birthday or whatever it is. But like in general, it's transactional. Uh, the other thing is, they have no moral conscience. And what I mean by that is, they ultimately, most, not all, most of these women that are sugar babies don't give a shit if you're looking for a mistress. They don't give a shit if you have a wife. They don't give a shit if you're having an affair. And that's very concerning to me. Like, I could not even, I've not even gone out with a sugar baby that was okay with that, because we end up having a conversation like, hey, look, would you go out with a married guy or whatever? But I'm saying most of these women, the sugar babies, they don't care. They'll be your mistress. They'll have an affair. They won't tell the wife. And I think that is that is definitely somebody that you not do not ever want to have a relationship with. So again, there's that. They will use words like, so here's the thing: if you do join a sugar daddy website, and I'll mention what those websites are in a moment, that I've used, then if you see words like NSA, no strings attached, or discreet, discreet is code word for um, I'm okay with you having a wife and having an affair, right? So I just skip those profiles. And let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do more videos on this topic and my experience and what to look for and things. But okay, last I'll leave you with, what are these sugar daddy websites? Now, there's one other sugar daddy site. I can't recall the name of it, but it's What's Your Price? I think it is. I haven't used that one. So I've used seeking.com and Secret Benefits. Those are the two I've used. Let me know in the comments if you'd like share my experience on using those two apps. But basically, the main difference is that Seeking is the best of the two by far. The quality of the women, the filters you can apply, and the fact that it's a 1 month subscription of $80, $85 a month, and you can have unlimited messages. So you can receive messages, send messages. It's just a one payment per month if you want to be on the site. Again, sometimes I'm off, sometimes I'm on, just depending. And you can message. There's no restrictions on the messaging and what you can say on the messages. It's just you can't say things like, "Oh, hey, so how much do you charge?" and all that stuff. So seeking.com and secretbenefits.com. Secret Benefits, what I don't like about that site is you buy credits. So every time you send a message, you use a credit, or you open a message, you use a credit. So the problem is there's a lot of bots and fake things happening where they ding your account and you're like, "Ooh, this chick looks good," and it's fake. So they're just eating up your credits, sucking your money. And so I would not advise using Secret Benefits, but Seeking is the one that I've used the most before. And so let me know in the comments, man, what you think about this. Have you had a sugar baby? Would you use a sugar baby? Have you used seeking.com, Secret Benefits? Are there other sites? Like, just let me know what you think. And specifically, if there's a video you'd like me to cover, do you want me to go into depth on using one of those sites or some other experiences? And I want to hear your feedback. All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.